Ah, okay. So, so guys, today's topic, um, I think it's one of the most important learnings in the space of communication which I have gained. And I can tell you this has shifted everything for me. Okay, when I say everything for me, genuinely, I mean everything for me, right from who I am today, to my relations with people around, to how I see and behave with others. There's so many things it has changed. I mean, the kind of bond, the depth of bond which I am able to form with people. The impact. Okay, my voice is not clear. Guys, is my voice not clear or is it audible? If it's audible, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, kind of faint. Okay, interesting. Okay, interesting. Okay, is it better now? Okay, is it better? Yeah, good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So, what I was saying is that this today's topic, as I said, I can say that a lot of who I am today and everything about me, the kind of people I have in my life, the kind of relations I have, the kind of work I do, a lot has to do with this topic today, which we're going to talk about and address in today's communication session. Now, it's about the double A's in communication, which I think, unfortunately, neither our parent, neither us, they are really aware about. Now, what are these double A's? It is the power or the ability to communicate appreciation and apology. Now, this is so powerful. This is so powerful and so important, which, I think today I'm going to reach that essence of it. You know, uh, in our functioning of life, apology and appreciation uh, is something which people crave for. अगर आप शांति से सोचोगे, अपनी लाइफ में भी जाओगे, with all the experiences, all the relationships, all the ups and downs, कहाँ ना कहाँ हमारे माँ बाप से जो हुआ है, जो किया है, हमारे दोस्तों के साथ, हमारे रिलेशनशिप स्पेस में, दैट वर्क स्पेस में, everywhere if you see, कहाँ ना कहाँ these are the two things which you have always craved for: apology and appreciation in every area of your life. Just think about it. Whatever your identity has been somehow dependent on that. And unfortunately, in our world and in our era, criticism is very easy, reaction is very easy, but appreciation and apology is not something which people really know how to do. And this is one of the fundamental reasons why there are so many relationship challenges. There are so many, discrepancies. There are so many, areas where people have gotten anxious and worried about all the different areas. Well, why? Because just that appreciation and apology which they have been craving or wanting for life, वो लोगों को देने ही नहीं आता. Now I'm going to start this very beautiful session. And I say very beautiful because, as I said, it's one of the most beautiful things humans really need to learn to is to genuinely learn to appreciate and apologize to people around, specifically to the closed ones, because they are the people जिनके साथ हम कभी नहीं करते ये चीज़, कभी नहीं करते. If you are a parent, we never apologize to our children for what you have done. If you are a child, of course, sometimes we also don't. And अगर हम करते भी है, okay, I'm sorry. Do you really think are you sorry here? This is not apology. Or if a parent says, okay, good, I'm proud of you. Do you think that it really impacts people? No. Somehow we have never learned this beautiful art of and the power, and we don't know the power it has. And that is something which today we're going to touch base and address, guys. So if you are a parent, you know why it's important. If you're a child and if you're a young person, you also know why this topic means a lot to you. So guys, I want you to really, really be there in the whole topic, because today the whole phase I'm going to share you and make you experience the beauty of apology and appreciation. Okay. Now I'm going to start with how exactly this changed my life. Now, for a lot of people, I have shared that my relation with my dad has been very difficult since childhood, and I've always lived in fear. I had always lived in fear about him as a person. मतलब मेरे दिमाग में हर टाइम यही होता था कि कि क्या क्या किया क्या करेंगे या क्या होगा या मैं ये करूंगा तो क्या रिएक्ट करेंगे कंटिन्यूसली मेरे दिमाग में वो डर हमेशा बना रहता था। ओके कंटिन्यूसली मेरे दिमाग में उनको लेके एक फियर रहता था। तो हमारा रिलेशन ऑलवेज बहुत स्ट्रेंजर्ड था। ऑलवेज बहुत मतलब इट वाज लाइक देयर वाज अ टाइम जहाँ वो घर पे आते थे मतलब मैं रूम में बैठते थे और हम मुझे एक मूवी देखते थे चिड़चिड़ापन होता था। दैट काइंड ऑफ रिलेशन वी ऑलवेज हैड स्पेसिफिकली व्हेन आई वाज इन माय यंग फेज इन माय टीनेज फेज ऑफ लाइफ। There was one fine day when I understood the power of communication and I understood the power of authentic sharing and communication and apology. Okay, and by apology, um, you know, I also meant uh, you know not only that they apologize to us, but we now and listen to this very carefully. We also apologize to our own self of holding on to a lot of things which were not healthy. We apologizing our own self. So it's not only apology about outside people, but also apology you have with your own self, appreciation which you have with your own self. So this is something which happened, and I'm going to share a very raw version of it, guys. I attended something where I really understood, what is this. And रात को 12 बजे मैं आया मेरे घर पे, and I woke up my dad, and he is like, and this was his tone. Hmm. क्या हुआ रात को 12 बजे क्यों नॉक कर रहा है? Like, this was my tone. And my typical reaction would be ये क्या तरीका है बात करने का सीधे से बात करो ना मतलब कुछ काम रहेगा इसलिए आया रहूंगा ना मैं like that would have been my natural response that day. uh, I I made him sit and I told him this, can you sit dad, like I would just love to talk something if you are comfortable with it. Now the moment my tone became like this, ये धवल उन्होंने देखा नहीं है ना तो ये उनको थोड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल लगा कि इसको क्या हो गया. So and then we sat, and after we sat, um, this is something which happened. Okay, I don't that you remember जब मैं सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में था मैंने एक लड़की को पत्थर मारा था. हम लोग सब बैठे थे और मैंने एक को पत्थर मारा था उसके डैड ने आके कंप्लेन किया था आपको. एंड इफ यू रिमेम्बर आपने मुझे वो दिन रात को पंखे पे लटकाया था और पंखा एक पे चालू किया था. दैट डे दैट आई रियलाइज दैट सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड चाइल्ड उसने ना आपको लेके बहुत मन में डर बिठा दिया था. So my dad is like, I don't remember doing something like this. I'm like, okay, fine. It happened, is what I know. Since then ना, dad उसके बाद बहुत सारे ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हुए थे जहाँ आपने मुझे एक बार बांधा था, आपने मारा था. और मेरे मन में ना आपको लेके मल्टीपल डर बैठ गए डैड. बहुत डर बैठ गए. मतलब फिर ऐसा टाइम था जहाँ मैं आपको देखता भी था, मैं आपको मतलब आप सामने भी आते थे तो हर टाइम ये डर रहता था कि अब आज किस बात को लेके चिल्लाएंगे या आज किस बात को लेके पॉइंट आउट करेंगे या आज किस बात को लेके नाराज होंगे या अपसेट होंगे मुझसे. एंड धीरे धीरे दैट मैं मेरे लिए ना आप वो बंदे बन गए हु इज ओनली एंड ओनली क्रिटिसाइजिंग पीपल. एंड यू वोंट बिलीव उसके वजह से कहा ना कहा मुझे भी अंदर लगने लग गया कि देर इज समथिंग विच आई हैव प्रॉब्लम या मुझ में कमी है या आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ. एंड दिस दैट एक नहीं मैं मल्टीपल एरियाज में डरने लग गया डैड. कहा ना कहा. नॉट दैट आई एम ब्लेमिंग यू राइट नाउ बट आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग व्हाट हैपेंड टू माय डैड एंड व्हाट आई रियलाइज. What one thing then when I started questioning why you are doing like that, I also realized that a lot of your actions were coming from your space of insecurities, your space of, maybe so-called conditioning, and your space of concern for me, because that was the only way I think you experienced what concern can, is, and you also passed on the same thing to me. बट आपके जितने भी एक्शन थे ना, मैं कभी कंसर्न नहीं देख पाया उसमें, मैं उसमें कभी प्यार नहीं देख पाया, और मुझे वो अभी भी नहीं दिख रहा था फॉर अ गुड लॉन्ग टाइम। मैं हर टाइम क्रिटिसाइज करता था, आपकी एक्शंस को धिक्कारता था, बट आपका वो दूसरा साइड में कभी देख नहीं पाया। शायद मैं अभी भी कंप्लीटली तो नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ डैड, बट पता है एक चीज जो मुझे रियलाइज हुई है कि आज मैं हूँ इधर आपके सामने बैठा हूँ, मुझे लाइफ में जो भी मिल रहा है, जो भी मैं एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा हूँ, आई एम ग्रेटफुल एंड आई एम एबल टू डू बिकॉज of whatever I have gained from you people. The world outside, the world outside is out, is there, and there are a lot of people who have not gotten so many things in life. But somehow I never appreciated what I had and what I have. But I always choose to criticize what I don't have. I wanted an ex-father, but shayad, this is the best who you are, and this is the best version of you. I'm really sorry, Dad. I'm really sorry for not able to see you the way you are, but I always saw you the way I want you to be. And I was always righteous in my head. I was always non-acceptance of who you are and why you did. Of course, few actions जो आपने की, ठीक है, but you also have done a lot of good things for me. And somehow my focus was always on all the wrongdoings, on all the wrong things which you have done, and उसके वजह से जो चीज सिंपली मैं हम रिलेशन बिल्ड कर सकते थे वो नहीं करके, आई थिंक मैंने इतनी इतनी नेगेटिव इमेज आपकी बना दी कि वो पास ऑन होती गई और हम दोनों वो ही गेम खेलते गए। आई एम सॉरी डैड, आई एम रियली सॉरी दैट आई डोंट वांट टू प्ले दिस गेम एनीमोर, एंड आई रियली वांट टू अपोलोजाइज फॉर यू नो how I have perceived you and how I have you know taken all your actions. Yes, I would really appreciate that from here onwards you also start seeing me as an adult where you can talk and discuss, which I would really love doing that. But today I choose to let go of all the hurt and all the ill feelings I and all the wrong imaginations and image I have about you. I'm really sorry, Dad, and I really, would appreciate if you can let go of it too. For the first time in close to 27 years of my life, that was the first time I saw that very hard guy who never, you know, showed any sense of emotion. वो पता है वो थोड़ा सा जो watery eye होता है, not like crying, but just that watery eye. And you know what he did was he sat, he was not talking anything, and after saying there was a silence of almost 5, 7, 10 minutes close to, and he's like, okay, now you go and sleep. You must be tired. That day onwards, and today, my relation with him is completely different. 27 years back, how we used to be in the first 27 years of my life, and today, I'm a very different person with him. We have differences. We don't agree on a lot of things today also, but still, what we think and feel about each other is very, very different. There is no holding on. There is no hurt. There are no ill feelings. There are reactions for sure, but nothing comes from the space of past today. In that apology, I actually let him go, let the impact of my dad go from my life. Things which I was holding on about my dad for such a long time, I let go of that. Things which didn't allow me to connect to him deeply, I let go of that. Of course, our parents are one of the most important factors in our life, and believe me, believe it or not, they are the most important people and most interesting people, and somebody whom definitely we can rely on any time of the world, any time of the life, regardless of any situation, regardless of मतलब as a kid also अगर हम देखेंगे हमारे कितने रैंडम ओपिनियंस फीलिंग्स टैंट्रम्स फिर भी वो लोग खड़े हैं हमारे लिए हाँ हम लोग झगड़ा करते रिएक्ट करते सब करते हैं बट फिर भी दे आर देयर आई रियलाइज दिस व्हेन आई वाज 27 and as I said today what I am with my dad who I am with my dad is so different. Apology can a real honest apology can, has the power to let go of that hold that burden that sudden shift of image about that person in a minute, in a second. That powerful and honest apology is. I'm going to take a second, very personal example of my life, which depicts this. Um, my first girlfriend, okay. So in my diploma, I was super excited about dating and everything. एंड तो मेरी पहली गर्लफ्रेंड थी और मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड था ऑफकोर्स फर्स्ट रिलेशन में तो बहुत एक्साइटमेंट होता था हम लोग ने एक ही महीने का डेटिंग किया था और मैं एक साल तक रोया था so that was the whole impact but I'll tell you what happened and that this is very interesting uh, while I was dating okay and when I was जब हमारा ब्रेकअप हुआ मैं ना हर दोस्त के पास जाके बोलने लग गया अरे यार तू बता मैंने क्या गलती किया है यार आई वाज सो गुड टू हर एंड शी डिड दैट टू मी एंड दिस दैट मैं हर बंदे को जाके मैं बोलता था तू बात करना उससे तू ये करना उससे क्यों ऐसा कर रही है तेरी तो अच्छी फ्रेंड है ना यार ये वो एंड आई वाज वेरी डेस्परेट दैट टाइम एंड वेरी लॉस्ट वेरी हर्ट एंड एवरीथिंग वाज शैटरिंग मतलब मेरे अंदर आपको मतलब मेरे ये एक्शन की वजह से वो लड़की का ना इमेज पूरा खत्म हो गया बिकॉज एवरीबडी यूज टू थिंक ऑफ हर एज अ बैड पर्सन नाउ everybody started thinking of her as a bad person and in fact there was a time in the next 3 6 8 months literally people started giving her names people started demeaning her character people started telling bad and in fact उसके कितने सारे दोस्त चले गए कितने सारे अच्छे दोस्त थे जो उसके वो सब दूर चले गए उसके उससे now I reacted from the space I reacted because I was super hurt and मेरा ego hurt हो गया मेरा identity hit हुआ था बहुत सारी चीजें हुई थी मेरे साथ जो मेरे को समझ में नहीं आई as a young person but then when I realized and after my breakup okay breakup के 5 साल बाद I called her रात को 12 बजे again so when I understood this and believe me, there was no need मतलब जरूरत नहीं थी या कोई requirement नहीं था because of course she had moved I had moved but still because that was truth of my life of what I did it's my responsibility and what I realized is that okay हम दोनों के बीच में things didn't work out she broke up with me for whatever good bad reason but because of my actions उसके बाद उसकी completely life ने turn around ले लिया because everyone around her started thinking very very bad about who she was as a person उसका पूरा character questioning में आ गया because of which she went through what she had gone went through now I called her and this was what I said I was like, hi. So she's like, hi. And she's like, why are you calling me right now? And how did you get my number? Well, I took number from this girl. And I'm like, okay. So, like, why? And uh, and I'm like, okay. So there's something which I realized and I would love to talk and share. And I don't need any reaction, honestly, from you. But this is something I felt and I would love to put it out there. I'm not going to take more than 10 minutes, but I would love for you to hear me out. He's like, okay. I'm like, जब हमारा breakup हुआ था back then, and you did this to me, I felt like, how can somebody do this to me? Like, I'm such a nice guy. I had the ego of I'm me being a very good person. And how can you do this to me? How can you behave this with me? But, you know, when you did that, I was so deeply hurt. My identity was so bad that I started going out for validation and acknowledgement, to other people. और वो करते करते मैं भूल गया कि उसका तुझ पे क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा. I completely was so engrossed in my own, wanting to, protect my emotions and defend myself, that I really forgot what it could actually do to you. And I didn't even realize what it did. And then later I realized that because of this action, literally everybody started talking bad about you, your character, flawed about your character, and people started distancing from you. Whatever happened between us was a different part, but the consequences which you had to face because of my action or what I did, I'm really sorry for what I did. I didn't realize back then, but today when I realize, I think it is it's something which I should come out and apologize to you, because I did feel and realize today. I'm really sorry, yaar. I'm really sorry. There's nothing I want more from here. There's nothing I want out of this conversation, but this is something I genuinely felt, and I want to apologize to you. And he, after that 2 3 minute silence, he like, अब इसका क्या जवाब देने का? I don't know what to say. So इसका क्या बोलूं मैं? I'm like nothing. And then there was just a small laugh here, and we were done with the conversation. And since then we've never spoken again, honestly. But that day I felt very different with him. It was not about her. I realized when you apologize to people, it's not about that आप दूसरों पे कुछ एहसान कर रहे हो. It's actually आप अपने आप को फ्री कर रहे हो. हम हमारे रिलेशन में कितनी गलतियां करते हैं. हम हमारे रिलेशन में कितनी सारी ऐसी छोटी मोटी चीजें करते हैं. हम क्रिटिसाइज तो बहुत क्विकली कर लेते हैं, बट कभी अपोलोजाइज नहीं करते उतना फ्रीक्वेंटली. कभी नहीं करते. बिकॉज वो हम चाहते हैं कि वो तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए. But we never apologize to people, and we never know how to apologize to people. There is a small action. Let's say, as a parent, you did something back then because of which you saw the impact. तो हम अपोलोजाइज नहीं करते प्यार से. अब उसको बोलते हैं, "हाँ, ठीक है, हो गया ना, सबसे होता है, उसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है. You have to learn. This is what life is. You have to move on." Of course, everybody is going to move on with or without your apology, but understand the beautiful power that apology has. An honest apology can completely shift the internal space of the person. Unfortunately, हम कभी apology करना सीखे ही नहीं. क्रिटिसाइज करना तो बहुत इजीली सीख गए, बट apology कभी नहीं सीखे. And this is something which I realized, and to be very honest, I have always done since then. So whenever, even in my team, whenever I am not in the best space, I mean they don't ask for it, but when you know the truth is what the truth is, if I am doing some errors, or if I am not doing good, or if I am not at my best, or if I have missed on, I've ensured that when I feel it, I always go and apologize to my people, my team, and everyone around me. I still do that, and I don't think I would ever stop it. Not because it's necessary, but it's truth. There is something which I felt, and because of which it impacted somebody, and I have to. So whether it's criticism, I do honest criticism. Whether it's apology, I do honest apology. And most important, when it's appreciation, I do appreciate somebody honestly, which is the next part of the conversation again. So guys, before moving to appreciation, and how appreciation can again, you know, be so important, just remember, when you apologize to a person, it's not for the other person. Remember, it's always for you, to free you from something which you have been holding for such a long time. If it's something you're holding about your mom, dad, it's something which you're holding about that friend, it's something you're holding about that person, it's you who are holding that baggage, not the other person. Of course, उसका जो impact हुआ रहेगा, but वो जो load आप लेके चल रहे हो, that is more toxic to you than the other person. And believe me, that one honest apology आप करके देखो, वो बंदा ना 360 डिग्री शिफ्ट हो जाएगा आपके लिए. When you apologize to your mom, when you apologize to your partner, to your father, then to your son, to your daughter, just look at them. Like when it's an honest apology, there will be such a beautiful, good space which will be created in that particular moment. एंड दुनिया के सब प्रॉब्लम ना छोटे लगने लगेंगे. हम ना फाइट करते हैं, हम प्रूव करने में लग जाते हैं, हम बैटल करने में लग जाते हैं, जबकि लाइफ बहुत सिंपल है. Which leads me to move to the second part of the conversation, which is appreciation. Um, Appreciation is something which, believe me, specifically when a young, मतलब एक छोटा बच्चा भी देखोगे ना, एक बच्चा जो 2 साल 3 साल 4 साल का होता है, अब देखना, उसके लिए भी अप्रिसिएशन बहुत मैटर करता है, राइट? बहुत मैटर करता है. क्यों पता है? क्योंकि अप्रिसिएशन एक ऐसी चीज है जो एक वैलिडेट करता है कि ओके, मैं ये दुनिया में आया हूँ और शायद मैं कुछ सही कर रहा हूँ. बिकॉज जब हम आते हैं ना दुनिया में और इतनी सारी चीजों को देखते हैं, बहुत ओवरवेलमिंग होती है दुनिया. तो अप्रिसिएशन एक ऐसी चीज है जो छोटे बच्चे के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए होती है क्योंकि वो उसको एक वैलिडेशन मिलता है कि ओके, व्हाट एम आई डूइंग, प्रोबेबली आई एम ऑन द राइट ट्रैक. इसलिए आप छोटे बच्चे को छोटी छोटी अप्रिसिएशन वाली चीजें देखोगे तो उसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. बट एज एन व्हेन यू ग्रो, it actually becomes more important and more specific. Now, what do I mean by that? As and when we grow, whether it's our wife, our husband, our children, father, mother, आप देखना कि हम एवरीडे बेसिस पे कभी छोटी छोटी बातों को अप्रिशिएट कभी नहीं करते. कभी नहीं करते. Like think about it, right? uh, you know let's say one fine day you wake up and you just tell your mom, hey mom, I just realized that, you know मतलब, I mean, ideally, I should wake up myself, but it's so interesting that, and it's so nice of you that abhi bhi, you take up that lead and wake me up at 6:30 every day in the morning. And and thank you, yeah, thank you, mom, so much for that. I really appreciate that. In spite of all my tantrums, you still do that and go away. What do you think your mom will feel that day? Hey, Dad, uh, I know you've been pretty busy and you're super occupied throughout the day, but still you manage to take out time and ensure that, matlab, you don't know what to talk to me, but you still come up with stupid topics to talk to me so that you know what was happening with my life. And you still try to do that. Thanks, Dad. This is very sweet of you. See how different life is. Hey, buddy. You know, when you were playing that game and I saw that you playing, you lost that game, but what was very interesting कि आपका जो डेडिकेशन था ना जब आप खेल रहे थे, आपका जो इंटेंसिटी था, व्हेन जब आप पहले, आई सॉ योर प्रीवियस गेम एंड आई सॉ योर दिस गेम, डूड, बिलीव मी, योर इंटेंसिटी वाज, यू नो I can say 2 to 3 times much better than it was previously, and I really appreciate you for that. Hey, buddy, you know, I know that this is the first time you've been doing something. आपने पहली बार ये किया है. मतलब I've been telling you doing since long time, but today you did it. Thanks, yaar. This is nice of you. And if you need any help and support, I'll be more than happy to help you. छोटी बात, just think about it. Specific appreciation. Specific. हमारे कल्चर में क्या पता है? हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं? अरे उसको अप्रिशिएट किया ना सर पे चढ़ जाएगा. उसको थोड़ा भी अच्छा बोलो तो सर पे चढ़ जाता है. ये हमारा कल्चर है. No, I'm sorry. It's not about sar pe chadna. When you appreciate somebody in a very specific manner of what they did, and if it is very pointed, you have no idea the role and the power it plays in your life. Today, let me share you, uh, if you see, one of my team member is there. So there was a miscommunication within our team. Okay, and she messaged me, "Okay, Dhaval, there has been a miscommunication, and I wanted to be a part of something, but I was not able to because of some miscommunication. Yeah, I don't, I would really want to be there, and I didn't want to miss it. And you know what I loved about it? Not the idea that she was complaining, but and I was like, oh, you should have done this. You know what I really love? That this girl is so interested. This girl doesn't want to miss it. It's so nice, right? It's so nice that she wants to take up that lead and doesn't want to miss something. I mean, she could have done that. The work was still going on. Kuch hota nahi tha. And I really appreciated that particular moment because I really loved it. That she's taking up that lead, that she's taking up that space. And this is one of my team members talking to me today. She messaged me in the morning. एंड बिलीव मी, जो भी मिसकम्युनिकेशन हुआ हम लोग ने जब इंटरनली टीम में बात की, एवरीबडी फेल्ट एंड अप्रिशिएटेड है दैट. एंड एक्चुअली इट्स सच अ ब्यूटीफुल थिंग. एंड she deserves that appreciation because that was an honest thing which she shared, which I told her that, honestly, I really appreciate. That shows the level of, interest you have and the value you have for this work, and it's such a nice thing. Now think about how that person is going to feel when you appreciate somebody for that specific thing and when it is so pointed. Appreciation is one of the most beautiful things again, but it has its own impact when it is very specific and pointed. अगर आप ये करो, अरे हाँ तूने अच्छा किया है, good, and you just go away. No, that's not appreciation. That's not appreciation. Again, हमारा प्रीवियस कल्चर ना ही अपोलॉजी ना ही अप्रिसिएशन, दोनों चीज नहीं सीखी है. But it's up to us now to learn the beauty and the power of these things. It's not necessary that your parents should start doing, guys. It's you also who can take up that lead and start doing. And I can tell you guys, अगर ये दो चीज अगर आपको लाइफ में आ गई, there are numerous beautiful relations which you will form in life. Something which you find so hard, I can't connect with my parent, I can't connect with this, I can't do this. Believe me, it's only a matter of time and honest practice that in matter of few months and few years you will see everything shifting. आज हमारा नेचर ये होता है कि हम हमारे क्लोज रिलेशन में ऑब्जर्व करना, हमारे जितने भी क्लोज रिलेशन है, हम जब इनको एक दूसरे के बारे में बात करने बोलेंगे, तो अगर मैं 15 मिनट बात करूंगा तो 1 या 2 मिनट अच्छी बातें होगी, 13 मिनट कंप्लेन होगी. मतलब आपके हमारे दिमाग में भी ही ना क्रिटिसिज्म पहले आता है. हमारा हस्बैंड हो, हमारी वाइफ हो, हमारे बच्चे हो. The idea is that nothing is wrong here. Neither criticism is wrong, neither appreciation is wrong. It just has to be honest. I am very pointed with my criticism also to my team most of the times. At times I'm irrational and I apologize for that. But most of the times I am pretty specific of what I don't appreciate. And I don't think, believe me, you guys have your own mentors. Talk to them in person. कभी भी उनको मेरे criticism का ऐसा नहीं लगा है कि why did Dhaval say that? Ask them. Because I'm very specific. And this is the power, as I said, what I have gained and I have learned and I've practiced. Whether it's appreciation, whether it's apology, whether it's criticism, if it's very specific and pointed, they are very powerful in nature. So today, guys, I want to, you know, throw you guys a very interesting thought. Just शांति से रिफ्लेक्ट करो, जेन्युइनली रिफ्लेक्ट करना कि कब आपने एक जेन्युइन अपोलॉजी किया था किसी को, या कब आपने जेन्युइन अप्रिशिएट किया था जहां वो अप्रिसिएशन और वो अपोलॉजी सामने वाले बंदे तक पहुंचा था. It reached them deeply. And you know what? It's only a matter of how you communicate that to you, to the other person. In the battle of criticism, you can go and nobody wins. But believe me, if you learn how to genuinely apologize and genuinely appreciate, आप जो 20 साल का बैटल कर रहे हो ना, वो 2 मिनट में खत्म हो सकता है. उतना पावरफुल है. Now it's up to you whether you want to learn this beautiful art or you want to keep doing something which you have been doing and justify yourself. कि धवल मैं कितना भी करूँ वो तो ऐसे ही रहने वाला है. उनको कितना भी बोला हाँ मैंने एक बार अप्रिशिएट किया था फिर क्या वो सर पे चढ़ गया. Sorry, let's move beyond this. Let's genuinely move beyond this and start seeing things from a whole different perspective. And believe me, it may seem, but it's not difficult at all. And once you learn it, you will feel life is much more easy and simpler in every area of your relationship. So it's not only for the parent and the child, it's also between husband and wife. I don't know when was the last time you apologized to your husband or appreciate your husband very specifically and pointedly. So, guys, the power of communication goes beyond our logical thinking. It can change things in a spurt of a second. I've seen that, I've experienced that. Appreciation and apology are very, very important. And I want you guys to think, sit with it, and genuinely think about it for yourself and your life. If now, if there are some people who really want to take up your own case, your personal space, okay, Dhaval, this is what has happened. And I genuinely, and this is what I feel, and I want to, work and, I want to apologize or I want to appreciate, but I don't know the language, I don't know the vocabulary. Yes, we can plan, we can sit with it, we can plan a meeting, and we can do something about it. But before that, I don't want you to just message me because you just think like, okay, हाँ मेरे को याद है मुझे करना है. पहले ना आप इसकी वैल्यू अंदर फिट करो. Because only when you fit the value, the power of it is when everything what we talk about is going to make sense. So if you want to continue living the life and struggle with all the relationship which you are, um, it's a choice you are making. But if you want to change, if you want to make your life and relationship life much more easier and simpler, believe me, learning these two skills, appreciation and apology, can do miracles. Miracles. सामने वाला बंदा ना वेट कर रहा है, बिलीव मी. आप एक बार करो, आप खुद तो बर्डन से दूर हो जाओगे, बट सामने वाला आपको 3x देना शुरू कर देगा. आपको पता भी नहीं, आप मांगोगे भी नहीं और वो देगा शुरू कर देगा. उतना पावर है. My brother's daughter, she is 4 right now, and so yesterday night, um, something very interesting happened. Um, she is like a वो आई और हम लोग ऐसे ही एक बोर्ड गेम खेल रहे थे सब एज अ फैमिली, और उसको रेड कलर का वो चाहिए था. एंड शी वेंट टू हर मॉम एंड लाइक शी स्टार्टेड क्राइंग लाउडली. एंड देन आई कॉल्ड हर एंड आई स्टार्टेड क्राइंग लाउडली टू हर. मैं भी रोने लग गया जोर से उसको. एंड देन वो चुप हो गई. मैंने बोला मैंने बोला डार्लिंग लेट्स क्राई टुगेदर ना. सो then she didn't say anything. Then I told her, okay, okay, can I tell you one thing? She's like this. Okay, you wanted that red color, right? You wanted that red color. She's like, yes. Did you ask for it? She's like, no. And like no भी नहीं, खाली ऐसा किया उसने मुंडी नीचे रख के. No. Did you like when I cried to you without even telling you why am I crying or without knowing why am I crying? Did you appreciate that? Did you like it? She's like, "Mm." First, how different it would be. Think about it. That if you would have first asked, "Okay, did you give me the red color? You take another color." अगर वो ना बोलती फिर तू रोना. And suddenly वो चुप हो गए and she started doing her own stuff. You know why am I giving you these small examples, guys? Real life examples. It's because I'm, you know, इसका पावर देखो, ये ब्यूटीफुल स्किल का पावर देखो. आप सोचो अगर मैं उसको वो मोमेंट पे एक टिपिकल रिएक्शन, क्या रो क्या रही है इतनी छोटी छोटी बात पे क्या रो रही है, व्हाट इज दैट टू क्राई हियर. नो, व्हाट इज दैट गर्ल गोइंग टू टेक अवे विद? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल शायद वो डर पैदा करेगी या वो इग्नोरेंस पैदा करेगी विद टाइम इफ आई कंटिन्यू विद दैट. And she will want to go away. With time, she will build that attitude and she will build a whole new perception about different things in life. So मैंने मेरा गुस्सा और रिएक्शन करने में भी 5 मिनट गया और मुझे ये समझाने में भी 5 ही मिनट गया. तो मैंने टाइम ज्यादा नहीं डाला, बट ये छोटे से टाइम में बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस आता है. All of you sitting here, it's my sincere request. It's the final day of our communication chapter which we have today. Of course, this is just a glimpse of what is the power and the beauty of communication. Uh, and I've told if anyone is seriously interested, I was not doing this before, but of course I got few people who have shared with me. Only and only people who are genuinely interested because इसमें बहुत टाइम जाता है ऑनेस्टली, बहुत पर्सनलाइजेशन आता है. Only and only people who are seriously wanting to absorb and genuinely experiment with their real life is somebody I would love to work with. Not logically कि उनको करना है, but you should be internally ready to genuinely go out and experiment. Absorb, experiment, so that we can create value out of the work. So I am okay working with, individual people who are genuinely looking and who are okay doing that. But in the last 4 meetings, I hope at least I'm able to create the essence of the beautiful topic and the beautiful skill human has. Whether it's your professional life, whether it's your personal life, that one conversation has the power to change it all. It has the power to change everything people think about you. It has the power to change the scenario, the situation, how you make people feel, how people perceive you, everything. So, guys, whether it's professional, whether it's emotional, whether it's relationship, this one skill goes long. And believe me, I can tell you that आप कुछ एजुकेशन भी नहीं करके अगर खाली ये स्किल को मास्टर कर लेते हो ना, यू गुड फॉर लाइफ. आई कैन बेट यू. मतलब मैं अब भी लिख के दे सकता हूँ विदाउट लाइक यू गिव मी एंड आई कैन राइट इट डाउन फॉर यू एंड टेल यू विदाउट इवन थिंकिंग अ बिट, यू आर गुड फॉर लाइफ. That is the power the skill has. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all of the people who have been very sincere in attending and joining all the sessions. We have been doing here. Um, I really admire the recordings of all the sessions are there. So people who have missed previous sessions, हम लोग ने record किया हुआ है, link आपको भेजी हुई है वो playlist की. So you can, see, you can look at this session, you can look at examples, you can do all the things. Um, in the next few raw musings, we are going to touch base upon very interesting new topics. And those are again going to be topics which are, you know, um, those are the topics which are directly, very, very important and correlated. हम लोग एक नई चीज चालू करने वाले हैं, जो मैं सरप्राइज रखना चाहूंगा. I have been doing with few people and few clients in person, but that is something which I will be doing collaboratively, and it will be a very bilateral space together. So that is also one very interesting thing which we are going to start in Rom using at random times. So parents, young people, ensure you don't miss it because it's fun. Uh, Throughout the week, I don't know how much time you spend in learning, but this is a space at least we have created so that something new, some new triggers, at least we are giving some new triggers which we are building. Ensure you prioritize this, you don't miss this, and be a part of it. Before leaving, um, I would really want, a feedback. Anyone who would want to come out and share what is something which you are going to take away from today's meeting, from today's conversation, whether it's a child, whether it's a parent, what is something you are going to experiment. So what I'm more interested in, what is something you're going to take away, and what is something you're going to sit with it, even think about it, brainstorm or experiment with. That is something which I'm more interested in. So if there's anything anybody would love to talk and share, I'm more than happy. And if you can just randomly share your feedback also, I'm more than happy. You can type it out in the chat, or you can just, unmute yourself and please come out. Anybody?
Dhaval, actually, hi, good evening.
Thanks, Nehal.
Basically, I have one question for you. So, because you were talking about communication. So this
Go ahead.
is, it was a very good topic, and this is what I have experienced in my life because by nature, I'm an introvert. Okay. So I feel a lot of times that I should express my feelings or I should talk to public, or sometimes I should go out and talk to somebody. But because I'm an introvert, I cannot express it directly. I get
Hmm.
shy or I get nervous sometimes expressing. Like you said, that we should apologize, you know, but because of my nature, I cannot directly go and talk to someone. So, what can be done in this regards?
First of all, I'm not sure whether you attended the previous one. There is nothing generally introvert or extrovert now. There's no problem. Okay, let's start with
Hmm.
that. ये इंट्रोवर्ट
Okay.
और एक्सट्रोवर्ट ना हमारे दुनिया ने बना के रखा। अब मैं बताता हूँ ये इसका ओरिजिन कहाँ से हुआ है। पहले के जमाने में क्या होता था पता है? इफ यू गो बैक 20-30 years और उसके पहले, जो भी
Hmm.
इंफॉर्मेशन पास होता था, जो भी नॉलेज पास होता था ना, वो ह्यूमन कम्युनिकेशन से पास होता था, राइट? इट वाज पासिंग थ्रू टॉकिंग. लेट्स से आई एम लिविंग इन मुंबई इन मलाड. आई विल नॉट नो व्हाट्स गोइंग इन बैंड्रा घाटकोपर इन एवरीथिंग. दैट वाज द ट्रुथ पहले 30 years एंड उसके पहले, बट बिकॉज information passing was very difficult. So that's where what was required is that people meet, talk, and talk so that there is a passage of information and it passes on. That is where introvert or extrovert में मतलब extroverted people का need था. There was a need back then.
Hmm.
Okay. Now fast forwarding in the last 20 years, what has happened? Information access is very easy now, right? आज इधर बैठ के आप यूएस के कोई गांव में क्या हो रहा है या क्या देखना है उधर तक भी आप जा सकते हो. तो देर इज नो रियल प्रॉब्लम विद इंट्रो एंड एक्सट्रो. ये सोसाइटियल क्रिएटेड है बिकॉज पहले के जमाने में दे यूज टू टॉक एंड वो नेटवर्किंग का अपना एक फायदा होता था. सो दे थिंक दैट इट इज नेसेसरी एंड एवरीबडी शुड लर्न दैट. एंड बिकॉज समबडी डजंट डू दैट, तो वो लोग उसको गलत प्रूव कर देते हैं, और बिकॉज वो गलत प्रूव होता है तो हमें भी लगने लगता है कि ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. इंट्रोवर्ट एक्सट्रोवर्ट इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लम. The point is that whether you know the art of expressing what you think and feel in the manner you want to express, that is something you need to learn. It's not a matter of you being out loud या बड़बड़ करते रहना. आपको कुछ बड़बड़ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर
Okay.
बट आपको उतना पता आना चाहिए कि अगर मुझे ये बोलना है तो ये कैसे बोलना है ताकि मैं सही तरीके से मेरा मैसेज पहुंच सके. सो ये एक स्किल है. इसका इंट्रोवर्ट और एक्सट्रोवर्ट से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. इवन एक्सट्रोवर्टेड पीपल डोंट नो दिस स्किल. दे जस्ट नो टू टॉक, बट nobody checks the impact of that.
Okay.
Yes, so
Sounds good.
introvert is never a challenge. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Guys, anybody else who would love to talk, share their thoughts, views, or have any questions like Snehal had? Anybody?
May I?
Yes, please.
About apology, sir.
नहीं पता नहीं.
By apology, do you really mean that we go out and just to save a relationship, should we apologize?
No, no, no. You should
Nothing.
definitely feel it,
उसको
right?
बोलते
You should
बस.
definitely feel. So हर रिलेशन में वो बता रहे हमारे वहाँ एक कहवत है, वो ताली दो हाथ से बजती है वाला सिनेरियो. So in every challenge, there are things which you do and there are things which the other person does. Your responsibility about what you have done. That's it. And आपको apology खाली उसके लिए करना है जो आपने किया, not what the opposite person is doing. So when you apologize to the other person or what you have done, आप इनडायरेक्टली सामने वाले को भी वो स्पेस दे रहे हो कि वो भी, इनफैक्ट आपने अगर जेन्युइनली, आई डोंट नो इफ अदर पीपल हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड और नॉट, जब किसी ने जेन्युइन अपोलॉजी अगर किया रहेगा ना, तो आप देखोगे सामने वाला भी आपको अपोलॉजी इमीडिएटली करेगा, हाँ आई एम आल्सो सॉरी। इफ यू हैव ऑब्जर्व दैट, चेक आउट करना। अगर आप जेन्युइन अपोलॉजी करोगे, स्पेसिफिक अपोलॉजी जिसमें आपको पता है कि ये आपका रोल था, ये आपका पार्ट था। अब लेट्स से व्हेन आई गेव द एग्जांपल ऑफ my dad, what my dad did, or what my, with the first girlfriend I was with, अभी मेरा काम था मेरी मिस्टेक को बताना, टू अपोलोजाइज व्हाट आई हैड डन। उसके बाद उसको क्या करना है, उससे कोई कोई लेना देना नहीं है। क्योंकि जब आप अपना पार्ट क्लियर करते हो ना, ऑटोमेटिकली आप सामने वाले को मेलो डाउन कर लेते हो, बट इट हैज टू बी ऑनेस्ट एंड इट हैज टू बी स्पेसिफिक। So if you want, do one thing. Think about few. मतलब you must definitely have few areas in your head. In coming week or something, let's plan and meet in person. Okay, हम मिलेंगे. You come out with those areas, and then let's have that one-on-one discussion. Maybe I can give you a more personalized approach and personalized thought on this. Make sense? Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Dhaval, yeah. It was a really brainstorming session for me, at least, because I went back almost 20 years back when my
Wow.
elder one was some 5-6 years old. So what behavior I did to him now, it really gives me goosebumps. How could I behave in that way with him? Because I had some my issues, so it all vented out on him because he was the weakest person in my life. All depended upon me. And now I am getting the reaction of it. Indirect reaction I'm getting. And whatever I talk to him, he has a preconceived notion कि मम्मी तो यही बोलेगी, मम्मी का तो मतलब यही है. Even if I write it down to him, he is now in Spain doing his PhD. He is 27 years. पर वो बोलते नहीं आपका तो मतलब यही है. I said नहीं बेटा मेरा नहीं है. I'm sorry if I'm not able to explain myself. पर नहीं आपका तो मतलब यही है.
Now, this requires a very deep level of apology, man. Okay.
Yes,
This means that
yes.
the hurt is so deep that
It's
now
deep.
he's blinded, right? And now he's blinded, and he has already created that strong idea and notion about you as a person. Now, in these
Yes,
kind of scenarios, the apology has to be very specific. It has to be very pointed, and and it has to be very honest. It doesn't have to like start with "I'm sorry." No,
no,
आपको वो जो पेन पॉइंट्स रहा है ना, जो पेन पॉइंट्स रहा है, जो आपकी एक्शंस रही है, आपको वो एक्शंस तक जाना पड़ेगा. मे बी दैट कन्वर्सेशन विल बी लॉन्ग, बट आई रिमेंबर बैक देन व्हेन दिस हैपेंड, एंड आई रिएक्टेड दिस, what I realized that right now when I said this is the thing, फिर उसके वजह से I didn't realize कि तेरे पे क्या इम्पैक्ट हुआ रहेगा. Then
yes,
when I again, so you have to go step by step, right from the different age groups and how
yes,
it built there.
yes.
Okay.
And I cannot justify what I did wrong because it was because of my reaction, what others did to me. Because I could not react to their actions. There are some relations you cannot react on them, but you react and you give the repercussions. Somebody who is weaker, who is under you, has to bear the repercussions of your reaction towards other people. So I know I did it wrong. I'm sorry for it, but
Your sorry
I'm
has to
really
reach,
sorry.
ma'am. Yeah,
It
no,
has
but
to
your
reach.
sorry, yeah, it has to reach him, and it will
It
only
has.
reach when you pierce through those layers first. और जब तक आप वो
Yes.
layers को pierce नहीं करोगे ना, तब तक वो पहुंचेगा नहीं वो apology उसके तक.
Yes.
So,
For that,
so yeah, you have to,
I have to sit with him, and he
yeah.
is presently in Spain
Mm,
doing his
No, you don't have
PhD.
to sit with him. You don't have to sit with him first. First, you have to internalize yourself. The story, the whole story which is there, you have to first go back and you have to feel it. You have to feel on his behalf so that when you talk, that feeling of what he must have gone through should come out in
Yes.
your talking.
Yes.
Okay, this is not like a clearing क्या मैंने किया था sorry. This is more like an action which is releasing you of that emotion and burden. And by you releasing yourself, you are also releasing him from that.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
for that, you don't have to talk to him. First, you have to sit with yourself.
Yes, I have to be in his shoes first when he was of
Feel it.
that age. And I have to feel as if somebody is doing it, and how would I feel about it at that age,
Okay.
at that most tender age.
Right? Okay,
An age that's
cool.
most impactful.
Definitely.
It was a brilliant session, Dhaval. I just can't tell you. I have gained. And today, Mana's father has also joined. And for
Okay.
1 hour, he is sitting with this session. And that's a
Wow,
miracle for
wow.
me.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
So,
thank you, thank you so much.
guys, as I said, um, uh, if there is any specific thing you would want to ask me, just don't message me and ask me because you want to ask me. पहले आप खुद बैठो उसके साथ feel करो, so that when you feel it, when you genuinely acknowledge it yourself, it would be much more meaningful for you and me to take it ahead from here. So I'm more than happy to help and support everybody. This is just a glimpse of what is the power of communication. So if there's anybody else, as I said, who's genuinely interested in learning it and making it more personalized, I am more than happy, but you should genuinely be interested because I can't take a lot of people in this work, honestly. It's consuming. I mean, it takes time and क्या है कि बाकी सब काम में उतना मैं फिर डेडिकेट मास के साथ में नहीं कर पाता इसीलिए if there is genuinely somebody who wants to learn it, I'm more than happy. So go back through these sessions, look out for all the new things you are gaining from this all the 4 sessions at least, and I'm more than happy to help you guys. Now I'm looking forward to all the new topics which I'm going to come, which we have in line and in plan in action, moving away from the communication topic but other topics and few new things. So looking forward for the next Raw Musing, guys. Next to next week we'll be back with a whole new chapter, with a whole new space. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Appreciate. Good night, and I'll see you around in the next few days. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you, Dhaval.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye. Great session.
Bye. Thank you, Pasmara.
Thanks, Dhaval. It was wonderful session, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for sharing your experience. It was really wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Dhaval, sir. It was wonderful session.
Thanks, man. Thanks as well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Chalo. Bye. Starting off. Good night.